Hey everyone, Jen here. I want to tell you guys today about a company we love called Better World Books. We get a lot of our books from the library, but sometimes we just like to have books at home that are our own, and my boys just like to have a copy that's theirs to keep. So when we do buy books, not that often, but when we do, we always start at Better World Books. They have a really great collection. I've been really impressed by how many different books they have when I actually want them. And so I want to tell you today a little bit about what to expect when you get books from Better World Books. I've shared about Better World Books before in terms of how they work, what they do on the blog. I'll link to those posts down below in the notes. But I want to tell you about what the books look like when you receive them. So Better World Books, just a real quick intro, they sell new books, but they usually take secondhand books, sell them online, and then they use those proceeds for literacy programs around the world. So really cool company doing really awesome things for both environmental purposes and also for literacy. Here's an example of a book that we bought. Better World Books has 5 different categories. They have new, like new, used very good, used good, and acceptable. Most of the books that we buy are either used very good or used good. So those are the ones I'm going to talk about today. This book is in pretty good condition. I think it was used good. So you can see it's definitely not brand new. So if you're going to order from Better World Books, like I said, you can order new, but if you're going to order a used book, know that it will look used. So a lot of their books come from former library circulation. So you can see this book definitely was at a library, still has the barcode on it. Underneath here, it's got some stickers that the library used for filing. Every book that you get from Better World Books is also going to have this barcode on it. It's usually white, orange, pink, different color stickers that Better World Books uses for their tracking purposes. We don't take those stickers off. I've tried, and it's really sticky underneath, so it just ends up working better to leave them on. But in terms of the quality, so like I said, this is a good, this is a used good book, and you can see like the corners have been, there is some creasing and some wear and tear in the corners. There's a little bit of wear and tear on the edge. You are going to have the sticker, so it's not going to look new, but on the inside, the pages are totally fine. There's nothing wrong. There's no creases, no writing, no missing pages or anything like that. I mean, from a reading perspective, this book is in great condition and it works perfectly fine for us. So trying to reduce waste, using Better World Books is a great option. And like I said, they come in fine. So a couple other books I can show you real quick. This is another one that came in from, that we bought, that I think this is a used very good book. Still came in from a library. You can see on the inside it's got the library barcode and the library that it used to circulate in. But it's really great condition. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. So this is a library binding, so it's it's a hardback book, and typically this is probably not the way that we would buy them from Amazon, but again, works just fine in terms of reading the book. This is a used good book. I want to show it to you because this one came in with a little bit more wear and tear than I normally see on the books, but just so you know, this could be how you get the book. So on the inside, the book totally fine, all the pages are great, but the cover is a little bit loose. So you can see here there's wear and tear all around the edges, and then the biggest thing here is you can see that the cover is coming off a little bit. So we could probably tape it and fix it. Haven't done anything with it yet, but in terms of actually reading the book, it's perfectly fine, works great. Sometimes you'll get books like this. So this is definitely a library binding. You can see it still has like the plastic cover on it for protection. Still has the sticker on the front. Even has a stamp right here from the library that it was from. But we've definitely gotten a few books that are like this. I don't mind at all. But again, this is not going to look like a brand new book that you would buy from a bookstore. So the inside, you can see, again, everything is in great quality in terms of reading the book, but it's just going to be a little bit different because you're going to have that library binding that's definitely familiar. Sometimes the books don't come from the library. So here's another example of a book that we bought from Better World Books that didn't come from library circulation. I think this came from a bookstore based on the stickers on the back. Everything is in like new condition with one exception. And that is, if you can look here, you can see the book is not really straight. I don't know how it got bent like that, but it did. I'm assuming that's the reason why it ended up at Better World Books and wasn't sold at the bookstore itself. But for the most part, I mean, everything else, like the cover is great, the pages are great, there's really no reason why this book isn't in perfectly good condition for reading. These are a few more books we got that were also from the library. And then there's some books that I bought for me. So this book, for example, I had checked it out from the library first and then decided I wanted a copy for myself so that I didn't have to wait every time I wanted to check it out and use it, and I could reference back to it. This book did not come from library circulation, but it's in, again, really great condition. I think this book probably cost me $4, maybe $5. The retail price, I'm sure, is much closer to $20 or $30, and we can have it on hand and reference it whenever we want to do some creative projects outside. So another example of, like I said, you can see everything is great. The only small thing, so like on the corner back here, there's some creasing on one of the edges. Probably something that would have happened while we were using the book anyways, so it really doesn't matter to me. A couple of things to keep in mind in terms of shipping. Shipping does take a little bit longer than what we're used to in this immediate gratification world of online shopping. I would say most books take between 3 to 4 days to arrive at our house, and then some of them can take a little bit more than a week. So really depends. That even applies to the new books. So everything they ship is via ground shipping, unless you want to pay extra for expedited shipping. But that ground shipping is free, which I think is awesome. So if there's one book that I want, I can go find it on Better World Books. I can buy it, no obligation to, feel like I have to meet some free shipping threshold or anything like that, and end up with more books than I want. So really love that. The other thing that I like is they have a carbon offset in their purchase process. So every purchase defaults to cover the carbon offset, which typically is like 3 to 4 cents, maybe 10 cents on a larger order. It's really not that significant. It's really easy. Like I said, it's the default. If you don't want to pay it, you can definitely unclick the little box and skip the carbon offset. But for 3 or 4 cents, it seems like a great win and something that's good for the environment. I think that's all I have, so I wanted to just pass along that little bit of information to you guys. If you have any other questions about Better World Books, let me know. We've been using it for at least a year, maybe 2 now, and have been really happy with it. So if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll also, like I said, link to the blog post that I have about Better World Books, so if you want to read more about it, you can. Thanks, see ya!